If you're listening to this while doing a dozen other things, I want to invite you to pause for just a moment. This isn't an episode about doing more or figuring anything out. It's about the space where clarity arrives before effort. Welcome to episode 59 of the Sparkle Experience Show. I'm Michele Hola. You might think, wow, that's a different setup, and it is because I had some problems, technical problems with sound tonight, and I thought, well, I'll still record this episode because I wanted to talk about the zero field. Everybody's excited about getting through to moving on goals and dreams for the 2026. And yet there's a bunch of people, and I know a few, and they're feeling stuck or indecisive about where it is they want to go, what it is they want to do, or pushing and feeling, why am I not getting the results I want to get? They think about manifestation. How do I manifest, to use law of attraction to get there? This is a topic that people try to get through to via self-help. Everybody's talking about consciousness and how that will help shift you, move you through to getting to things in flow more, being more aware of mindset. How am I looking at things, using affirmations, different techniques, strategies, all this stuff. And some talk about quantum this and quantum that, and what is it that we're all trying to do so much? And sometimes, have you ever felt that there's so many things we try to do all the time? Life gets so hectic. We're always striving, pushing, forcing things through, feeling that there's this urge, this drive. And if we don't stay on this hamster wheel, we're not going to get there. And what I thought as I was listening and looking at all of these things, even a bit myself too, with all the things I want to accomplish, that sometimes we strive and drive and keep on moving through and feeling that there's no time, that we need to just keep on moving, doing things all the time, multitasking. That what is this zero field? I had someone ask me that on one of my BCEO View classes. What is the zero field? And I thought, well, what would be the best way to describe being there? Because you see, for me, it's a feeling space, a feeling state. Most approaches try to change behavior. I work at the level where behavior forms. This is where, yes, miracles can happen. This is where you can get from a point of confusion to a point of clarity. Because that's the still space, the quiet space where you get rid of all the noise. You remove all the distractions. You stop this urge to do and to act, where you just get to that place of knowing within yourself, where you get to listening to what's important to you, what is at your core, what your values are, so you can move aside all the things that really don't matter and start to trust yourself perhaps a bit, to believe in yourself, to know within that whatever it is that you're striving for, to know whether that is where you need to go, or do you need to turn left a bit to get there. And so when we're stuck, we think something's wrong, that we need to fix ourselves, or life should be easier. You're wondering how to get to flow so you don't have to push so much or drive so much. Maybe it's in health or wealth or relationships. My question to you is, if it's health, what is it that you're telling yourself all the time in the quiet time? Not your affirmations, I'm going to be well, I'm going to be well, I'm going to beat this, whatever it is you're beating, or I'm going to get better. Not the times you're trying to speak and upsell yourself on what it is you're trying to accomplish, but what is it that is going through your mind in the quiet times? Are you tapping into those quiet times like it's your zero field, where everything is available to you, where you feel expansive, like you have this infinite choice of possibilities at your disposal, where you can grab something good and pull it towards you? Or is it that space where you feel that everything's pressing down on you? It's dark, it feels oppressive, it's heavy, it's weighing you down. What is it you're telling yourself in the quiet times, in the silent times? Are you able to tap into that field of infinite possibilities? Because it's the zero field that's available to each and every one of us. It's that feeling of expansiveness, of quiet, of calm, of peace, where you're at home in your skin, feeling good about yourself. It's hard to imagine that you could get that feeling and that result by just listening to a recording of this Sparkle Experience Show podcast. So if that's the case, well, why not show up live and see if when you come on to the program, the podcast, after a long day of work, what if you found yourself more energized just by being in this space? The experience speaks for itself. That's an invitation, and you're welcome to come on and see. And when I do my programs, it's not about fixing anyone. It's not about fixing behaviors or thinking or looking for what's broken. I start with restoring cohesiveness. And when we get to that sense of alignment, we can then start to build and create. You can start to build and create what it is you'd like to create from that space. And you may think, well, how do I get there? How do I even reach that space? Is it meditation? Is it through doing this or doing that, or following that process or that program or those steps? And I'd like to suggest, and we do that with Sparkle Chi very easily, because when you can get your vibration elevated, then those things just seem to evaporate. And it's my clients who are telling me that. I had a lady I was talking to today, and she was helping me with nothing but computer programs, because I was setting up a new computer. And as we were talking, I said to her after about a half hour, I said, well, just a question, how are you feeling right now? And she says, actually, I'm feeling quite light. If I said, she was having a problem describing, I said, are you feeling lighter? She said, yes, I'm feeling lighter. That's a word. And I said, and she says, I'm feeling calm. And I said, would you say that's more peaceful? She said, yeah, that would be it. And then I said to her, well, what about the thoughts you were having? Were you having any thoughts about maybe Christmas spending or any of that kind of concern before you started speaking to me? And she said, yeah. And I said, are they there still? Is it as noisy as it was before? And she says, actually, no. I said, is it quiet? Are you here with me right now without all those thoughts in the background? And she said, yeah, that was true. And that is not me working on her, because I wasn't doing Sparkle Chi. It wasn't a Sparkle Chi session. It was just presence and frequency, the frequency I bring to the table. So then you feel the release of the the adrenaline leaving your system. So most programs try to fix behavior and try to change habits. But I work at a level where behavior forms. I help you to shift into a space where there's no impulse or thought to do or need to do anything, where you just relax into the space and allow yourself to shift. And it's as simple as that. Shift your frequency, tap into the learning on how to control the steps I do give in the program and how to get more self-aware, but it's all powered by Sparkle. And so my students get to that space of being able to tap into that awareness and move into that space more easily than having to think, how am I going to do it? They actually shift and move into doing it. And so to be CEO of you is not about fixing yourself. It's about creating the conditions, setting up the environments where you are able to get the insights, the clarity, so you can make better choices and you can emerge naturally being more self-aware. And this, I think, is what past participants, students, if you will, in the Be CEO of You program have come to realize, is that it's an easier space to come into knowing, into being, into realizing who you are, enjoying the knowing of what it is that you can tap into, and realizing that it's not so much about the pushing and the striving to get there, but it is more about allowing yourself to expand and utilize your gifts and your abilities with a knowing that helps guide you to where you're going. So this zero field is that space where you get to when you pause versus push. You allow yourself to breathe and relax into just being so that the clarity can come in as you invite yourself to tune into yourself. And many people think stuck is where you have to push through, but sometimes feeling stuck is where it's a signal to reconnect with who you are, to start listening in a different way, reflecting on where it is you came from, where it is you think you want to go, and to actually ask, is that really where I think I want to go? Is it really where I want to go? When all the interference are quiet, when I talk about interference, I'm talking about people coming at you, yourself making demands of yourself because you think that's where you need to go. You have opinions, you have things you are listening to in the general public space. When you allow all those things to quiet, perhaps something may return to you as to what it is that deep down maybe has been nagging at you, which is that nagging is what's stopping you, where it's feeling like your foot is on the brakes, when you're feeling that drive to push through, but something is braking, pushing your foot on the brakes, feeling that way. Maybe that's what's happening, because your knowing is telling you there's something you're missing or not listening to within yourself that will help guide you to where you really want to go if you allowed yourself to do that. So I don't know if I'm making much sense here because it's not something most people talk about. Because you see, when you're able to get to that quiet space, your perception of what is out there will sharpen. You may be able to see things that you haven't been able to see before when you allow yourself to be in this quiet space of just allowing all those extraneous things to just move away for a minute. Because once your awareness rises within, you can get to where you want to go without pushing so hard, because you'll get more into flow. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, perhaps you might, but this is resonating with you. Perhaps you may want to look at signing up for the Be CEO of You program. It's something I'm, trying to describe to you here, but it's really about feeling it and about allowing yourself to be in that space where you can tap into it. And that's a container I have built with the Be CEO of You program. And the feedback I've got is that it is effective. And other than inviting you to come into this space, it's not something that I can describe for you as to what will happen when you do tap into your divine spark and allow yourself to move into that space, because everybody experiences sparkle differently, and sparkle chi has a different effect and impact on everyone uniquely, just because you're all unique in how you show up in your life and your skills, your experiences, your challenges, and what you wish to accomplish in your life. And so that's what I wanted to touch on in this podcast tonight. And as usual, what I'd like to invite you to do right now is, if you want to participate, is to close your eyes and breathe in. Allow yourself to, if you will, allow the energy to come through to you right now as you sit there. Get comfortable as I sparkle you all in this space. For those who are joining me right now, just allow yourself to breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, everything that's coming to you right now in this space. Allow yourself to let go of whatever it is that is not serving you right now. Allow yourself to breathe out everything that's not serving you, through the window, through the door, through the cord at above your feet to your very own special crystal, where the energy gets cleared and cleansed and re-energized with Mother Earth healing energy. And then once it's cleansed, allow that energy to come back up through the other cord under your other foot, and allow it to join this beautiful cosmic energy from the heavens, as it brings to you love, light, energy, healing. And just breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, and allow this beautiful energy to go wherever it's needed in your body, around you, in your space. Allow yourself to breathe out everything that's not serving you. Allow yourself to come back into center, feeling grounded. breathe out everything that's not serving you. Allow all this beautiful energy to come to you right now. There. So thank you for joining me tonight for the Sparkle Experience Show. I hope that you will allow yourself to tap into your beautiful knowing. And if you'd like to learn more, there is the Sparkle Source and the Sparkle Source frequency. There's more episodes of the Sparkle Experience Show available on YouTube at the Sparkle Experience Show channel. And if you'd like to come on to more podcast episode live with me, then you can check out the website, thesparkleexperienceshow.com, because on there are the links to join me on Zoom at the top fold, the first and third Wednesday of the month. So until the next time, I'm Michele signing off.